Hello, kia ora, and welcome to your Married at First Sight New Zealand Season 2, Episode 10 recap. I'm Christina Doon. Well, when we last were with our couples, they were doing home visits, giving them a chance to see their partner in their own element. Remember when Wayne was walking off to prevent ranting at Ksenia? Yeah, well, he's back there, and he says he's invested so much, and he has no idea what is going to happen. So he's just trying to cope, I suppose. Of course, there has been speculation out and about that she just wanted to get on television and to make herself well known, and she wasn't in it for a real relationship. Of course, that's just speculation, so I don't know. But that's just what's out there. When Wayne returns, wow, that was hard. When Wayne returns, Ksenia asks him if he likes her. He says, "Do you like me?" Of course, she has to do the "I asked you first" BS. He says, "Yes, I still wouldn't be here if I didn't. If you were upset, I'd be the first person to ask if you're okay. I like you, but I struggle with the incompatibilities. That's why I wanted to see the experts. I need to know if I'm getting better or worse. I want to keep trying and see what can happen." Ksenia says she feels something and wants to keep trying. Wayne says, "Why didn't we have this talk 3 weeks ago?" Well, up next, we're going to talk about Julia and Dave. Julia has given herself more time to find intimacy with Dave. They head to her place, and we see her cat that eats with his paws. It is so cute. It's just hilarious. I love it. She shows Dave his room and a basket of maps and info for Christchurch. Tony says, if we're just patient, maybe we'll see it come. I don't know. Julia sets Dave off to a challenge to build her outdoor lounge sofa from a box. They seem playful, but then she says he would be more at home in the kitchen, and both my hubby and I said, hey, that's not fair to say. Anyway, later Julia's friends come over. They have drinks. Still want that recipe, Dave, for your cocktails. I'm just saying. Friends ask about where they're going to live. Julia says she wants to stay in Christchurch, and Dave would be happy to relocate from Dunedin. Julia's friends say he is lovely and that she is focusing on the metrosexual thing as kind of a reason, but all her friends think he's quite masculine, and because she isn't feeling that physical attraction side, perhaps she's using that as sort of an excuse. But, poor Julia continues to overthink, and that's what I think it is. She is just completely overthinking it and stressing about it. And I don't know why she feels like she has to put a mad rush on things, and I don't know if any of them feel that way, but they just all need to calm down, because it's your whole life you're talking about here, right? So just relax. Julia and Dave go back to Auckland. Julia catches up with Sam. They commiserate with each other regarding their relationships, which is funny because didn't Sam get ticked off at Taylor for catching up with Julia on his own? See, I'm just saying it's another one of those do as I say, not as I do kind of things. I'm just pointing it out. Julia says she doesn't want to give up because her friends really like him, but she doesn't want to lead him on either. Later, Dave tries to make plans with Julia, but she says Sam may need her. He seems frustrated and, hello, I think we can all see it. And so he says Sam seems to know things first before him. He was hoping for some alone time to talk with her about things they need to discuss. She is very frustrated that he feels this way, which is odd because if the roles were reversed, I'm sure she would feel the same way. She says she is trying to deal with this in the best way she can. I think that he just wants more time with her. She takes it the wrong way and now says she's pissed off, which, that was totally on her because he didn't say anything that would upset her. She says she's done and that is that, and basically says, stop the cameras, whatever. He says we have decisions to make. He says she's a completely different person since they left Christchurch. Dave tries to discuss things with Julia. He says he wants to be there for her instead of Sam to show her that he can help her through this. Well, apparently, ding, a light bulb just must have went off, and the penny drops, she gets it, and she apologizes, and they hug, and they seem to make up. Onward to Monique and Frasier. They seem to be going okay. They're holding hands. They play some games together, which I think is good. Because, you get to know people that way, right? Monique says she was so wrapped up in her own head in the beginning that she didn't realize that Frasier's actually really giving himself. Or from the start, he's just been himself, and he's quite genuine. She is seeing him as more of a friend and more, I'm sorry, she's seeing him as more than just a friend. Sam is mad at Taylor for being hungover. There's some tension there. Later, the time Sam has spent away from Taylor seems to have caused them to drift apart. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but he doesn't seem real thrilled. Gareth goes to buy Audie a new ring because the one she was given for a wedding wasn't to her taste, so he's going to surprise her. All right, later, the couples get ready and speculate about the dinner party. Frasier and Monique feel like a team. Yuki loves to do things for her hubby, and she is happy ironing away. Dan said they made a deal from the beginning to not get involved in the other couples' relationships, which is really good because if we learned anything from last season, it is stay out your other people's business, right? Just stay in your own. Don't worry about anybody else's. Wayne and Ksenia arrive first. It seems a bit forced. The experts want to see if Ksenia stays engaged with Wayne after the others arrive, because if we remember from the last dinner party, it's like she was talking to everybody but him. So they're curious to see if this is going to change. They discuss home visits. Audie points out that they stayed with Gareth's parents since he still lives with them. The experts wonder why she pointed that out. Julia and Dave arrive. The experts are, hopeful for them, as the rest of us as well. Frasier and Monique arrive. Monique and Julia discuss home visits and that they went well. Sam and Taylor arrive. Sam goes right to Julia. Time to sit down to dinner. Well, they all sit down where they choose to for dinner, so they can sit wherever they want. Sam makes some comment about Dave being a big baby. My husband got a bit irritated with Sam poking at Dave because he says he's a stirrer. That's what he said. Tony steps out to talk with the couples. He and Steph have questions for them. He asks them to be truly, truly honest with each other and themselves. Wayne is up first. His question is to Ksenia. When you look at me, what do you see? She answers, nice, kind, caring guy. Do you believe I'm uneducated? She says, you went to high school and you have a real estate license. He was a bit disappointed. She didn't even remember his helicopter training and all that stuff. So that was a bit disappointing, and he's hoping she's going to start asking him questions. Does she really care? Hello, start asking about him. Do you want to stay together? Ksenia, hello, wake up. Anyway, he says, could you see yourself fitting into my busy lifestyle? Him off working and so forth. Would you have a problem with his traveling? She says, no, but not too long. And then we actually see she has a softer side. She then opens up and talks about her father being away a lot when she was growing up. We and Wayne were all surprised to hear this. Is this perhaps why she's been so tight-lipped? Because, maybe she's so afraid of getting hurt that she just doesn't open up or doesn't want to try to get to know anyone? I don't know. Maybe I'm overanalyzing, and maybe, again, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt because, yeah. Anyway. Okay, so next question, Ksenia asked them, am I difficult to be in a relationship with? Okay, sorry. Wayne says, no, we aren't in a relationship, which I suppose is true. He says, we're still getting to know each other, and until he's ready to give up, he's going to keep going. He says, we have things to talk about. She needs to start asking about him. And he says, right, currently she pays no interest. So, we're waiting to see. Is Ksenia going to actually start thinking about him and asking about him? I guess we'll find out. All right, Dan and Yuki. Dan's question from Yuki is he ready to move to be with her for the relationship? He says yes. Yuki and I both tear up. Oh, girl, I was so happy for you. Dan asks her, why do you think we were matched up? And she says, because we're very similar. What worries you about the experiment finishing? She says losing the focus. They have to go back to normal and live their regular lives, and it sort of bursts that whole bubble. And then, are you worried that I will break your heart or abandon you? She says yes, but she hopes not. And me too, because Dan, don't you hurt her. All right, up next, Sam asks Taylor, do you think I'm here for the right reasons? Taylor says, well, there has been speculation that he wasn't there for the right reasons, and if he didn't know about Sam's social media following, there would be no doubt, but he does. Tony says, there is a lot of static that comes with Sam's following. Is that going to be an issue? Up next, how do you think I feel about our relationship and you? Taylor says he feels like they've taken a big step backwards after the tiff they had the other day, but he hopes things are going to get better. Sam says he wants more from Taylor. Taylor knows this, but he says he is who he is, The experts notice that Sam seems to list terms for he and Taylor's relationships. Saying he's done this, so now Taylor needs to do this. I've done this, so you need to do this. So it's like he's giving him terms. Taylor says he has opened up, but he needs to feel comfortable. And then Sam turns around and says he's been judging him. So you can kind of see why Taylor is a little bit nervous to open up because, hello, Sam, you just admitted you're judging him. So you can understand that, can't you? Sam basically has laid down the gauntlet in the respect as far as the relationship goes. It's like, you have to do this, or else basically that's it, right? Then, do you have feelings for me? Sam says yes, and then says, they've won NZ over. At this point, my husband said, well, he certainly thinks a lot of himself, doesn't he? I'm like, wow, okay, really? Sam says Taylor is too relaxed for him and again says he needs to give more. Tony notices that Taylor has a list of to-dos from Sam. So that's basically the end of that sitch. On to the next one. Dave and Julia. Dave, am I your type physically and why? Long pause and commercial break later, she says that she usually is attracted to personalities and then something develops. That's just what she says. Do you have feelings other than friendship for me? She says yes, and it's actually been quite recent that it's developed, which is nice because Dave needed some sort of validation, right? Okay, Dave, do you think we are a good match? He says yes, and she agrees. Why does my friendship with Sam bother you, she says. He says first it doesn't, but he explains that they need to have their time. Sam starts to chime in, but you know what? Dave stops him right in his tracks and makes it quite clear that he wants this time with Julia. He needs to time with her because it's their relationship. He needs, he wants to planning. He wants to be able to be there. He's planning on being there. He says they've moved on to a better place. Later, then Sam takes credit for Dave and Julia's relationship. Okay. So what does his gut say about them? He says it's good, and he's ready for the long haul. All right, onward. Frasier is nervous. Poor Frasier. Monique asks if she is worth a long-distance relationship. He says yes. She is the most incredible person he's ever met. Ding, ding, ding. Well, Frasier definitely got the romantic award last night because that was like the best thing to say. He said they both agree they're on the same page. She then asks if he is frustrated by the pace of the relationship, but he says he's quite happy. He says they're a team. He asks her if she thinks that a spark can develop between them. She says, I don't know. I mean, she hopes so, but she doesn't know. Fair enough. He knows she doesn't like opening up about personal things in front of others, so he's quite fine because he feels the same way. Gareth asks Audie. First off, the experts say they have some tough questions, but we don't really know because we don't get them all. Gareth does ask Audie, do you think our core values match? She says her values are fluid depending on the situation, so it's really a non-answer. Do you think we're a good match? She says, personality-wise, yes. The experts say she has shut down a lot, though, since the last dinner party. It's almost like she's a bit jaded. Do you have reservations or regrets? She says reservations, yes, but regrets, no, because that's just how she lives her life. Audie asks him, why do you think we're a good match? He says we get on well, and he feels comfortable around her, which she doesn't seem to think that's the case, but that's just how it come off. Of course, she brings up the whole kids thing again. Is he really ready for a committed relationship with me? He says he understands her view. She doesn't get his view. The experts wonder if the spark has completely disappeared at this point between these two. She doesn't think he will ask. She isn't going to ask him that last question because they had talked about before, and she doesn't want to air any of his dirty laundry. But then she does make a little side dig. It says he's not as nice as everybody thinks he is. And then the question started with A, but he says he doesn't care if people speculate, yada, yada, yada. So we may never know, and, that's all fine and good. It's really none of our business because it's his personal stuff. So next episode, we have recommitment ceremonies, of course, probably some more drama, Anyway, so tonight's episode, I will recap it, and we will see you again tomorrow. So until next time, everybody have a great day, and happy Labor Day!